Hey ladies. So that's weird. I'm gonna turn myself down. I hope that doesn't affect the volume for you guys. So if it does, just leave me a comment. I'll re-record it. So I wanted to do a more in-depth video about what happened at our RE appointment. If you're pretty new to infertility, I've been around a little bit with infertility. Whew. I have a long hair cat, a short hair cat, a short hair dog, and there are 2 dogs at my work, so I tend to get like dog and cat and kid hairs, and yeah. So our issue basically were unexplained. Theoretically, I ovulate. And I say theoretically because I didn't used to ovulate on my own every cycle. It was some cycles I did, most cycles I didn't. And my friend is texting me about it. We're trying to weigh pros and cons, and I'll get to that in a minute. So we had that issue, and when we did my husband's semen analysis, it turned out really, really well. He had a really great semen analysis, great numbers, great morphology, great motility, all that. So we're not really worried about it from him alone standpoint. We are, oh, there's some red in my hand right now. Did you see? That, my friends, is some remnants of bundt cake. Yes, I am doing Weight Watchers, and I got my little treat for the week today. So it was a little slice. It was only like that big, not that wide this time. Anyway, way off topic. So we're not worried about it as a him alone. It's either a me or me plus him issue. So last year in February, March, and April, we did Clomid. And the Clomid did make me ovulate. It did not get me pregnant at all. And even on the 150, which is the highest dose you're supposed to take, even on the 150, I only produced 1 follicle that was okay, meaning that it wasn't like a really good sized follicle. I think the biggest follicle I ever got was 11 by 16, which for when you ovulate, that's an okay size, but it's not great. They want to see like a 19 and 20 up in those kind of numbers. So that happened with Clomid, and then we just kind of decided to go with it until we saved up some money. And we've saved up some money, and now we're ready to do the whole infertility route. We had our consult appointment today. We got there. We actually got there late, and luckily they were running late, and things were just okay. So we got into the appointment, met the doctor. She's really nice, she listened really well, and I really appreciated that. I didn't feel like I was being nudged aside or, oh, this happens all the time, don't worry about it, we got it. She was very personable about it. She was very, okay, what do you guys want to do? What are your feelings on this? So that was nice. So we went over both our family's histories, and then we went over our history together. Whether we've had any miscarriages, yes. Whether he has been responsible for any other miscarriages with another partner, no. Whether I have had a miscarriage with another partner, unfortunately, yes. Have we done Clomid? Have we done timed intercourse? Have we done this, that, the other thing? You know, all of those things that they just go and ask you whether you've done or not. So I answered all those questions, which, funny enough, if you've been watching my videos for a little while, you know that Jeremy has decided to stay oblivious up until the, and by oblivious, I just mean he has chosen to stay out of what all is going on in my cycle, and is it time to try, we need to baby dance, like that kind of thing. He has decided to stay out of that until we got to infertility appointments. And I gave him that option. So don't say, oh, how horrible of a husband is he. I gave him the option when it started taking a couple months for us. I said, I'm charting, I'm doing all these things. Do you want to be in the know about all of this stuff going on, or do you just want to kind of be oblivious? He said oblivious. Um, so it was pretty funny to, as she's sitting there and saying, have you done time intercourse? And I'm like, yes, and I'm looking at his face, and every once in a while you could see that he was just like, really? Huh, look at that. Look what we've done. It was kind of funny. So that was that. And then she said, okay, basically you have 3 options. The first option is to do Clomid with a trigger. And then your second option is to do Clomid plus Follistim with a trigger. And the other option is to do Follistim alone with a trigger. Each of these options we can do with or without an IUI. Luckily, we all kind of felt the same way, as since we're already going to be paying for monitoring, we're paying for medication, we're going to be doing all these things, why not just do the IUI and give ourselves the best chances of this happening first or second go around, instead of not boosting our chances by that much. So luckily we all felt the same on that, and so IUI will be a part of our process. Trigger will be a part of our process. Clomid alone is not something I wanted to do because we have done Clomid before, and yes, it made me ovulate, but no, it did not get me pregnant. And at this point, we've been trying so long that I just want to give ourselves the best chance. So it is for us between Clomid for cycle day 3 through 9, and that would be at 100. Let me see. Let me get the paper she gave me about what the drug amounts would be. She gave me this. This is actually, there's another packet to go with it, but it's like double-sided packets of paper. Okay, so it would either be Caldin on cycle day 1, Clomid plus a follicle stimulating hormone, and that would be Clomid 100 milligrams cycle day 3 through 7. Then Follistim 50 IU cycle days 8 through 11, and I would get a baseline ultrasound on cycle day 2 or 3. Then I would get a follicle scan on cycle day 12, and then I would have an Ovidrel shot. Then if it was Follistim alone, it would be, and the Follistim, I think she said 50 IU. I just said that. Sorry. The Follistim alone would be between 50 and 100 IU. It would be cycle day 3 on until I'm responding. And then I would have a baseline ultrasound cycle day 2 to 3. And then this is where it can get more expensive besides just the drugs. So with just Follistim, I would have baseline ultrasound cycle day 2 or 3. And then I would have a cycle day 7 scan, which would be 4 days after starting Follistim. And then you, depending on how you're responding, you have another scan every 2 to 3 days until you're ready to, until they're ready for you to trigger, for you to do the IUI, and then so you trigger, and then they do the IUI. So those are our options. We have not decided between the two yet. Actually, after I'm done with my videos and he's done with, he just wanted to play some video games and relax a little bit. So after he finishes that and I finish this, we are going to talk and decide. And she did do a mid-cycle scan. So to do the mid-cycle scan, she used Mr. Wand, which all of us infertility ladies know is our best friend we love to hate. So I got to be reacquainted with Mr. Wand, which I so happily submitted to. And she said my lining was looking okay for this point of my cycle. I am on cycle day 22, and she decided to look at my ovaries. My left ovary is a little bit smaller than my right ovary, which is something that I have not heard of before, or I have not heard about myself before. In all the scans I've ever had, nobody's ever said that. And I said that. I said, nobody's ever said that to me. Do you think it's shrinking? And she said, I don't think it's shrinking, but we'll keep an eye on it just in case. I said, okay. I just want to make sure. I know that probably sounds stupid, but I just wanted to make sure. So we both kind of got a good laugh at that. And my husband goes, well, at least we know why you do that whole overcompensating for size bit. It's not just because you're short. I was like, what? And the doctor started laughing, and I started laughing. I was like, wow, all right. He goes, well, I was just kidding. I said, I know. He goes, I was just trying to relieve the tension. And Harry Potter, if you know me and Harry Potter and me, Harry Potter's a big deal. So he goes, instead of just saying he was trying to relieve the tension, he goes, I'm just trying to relieve the tension, just like in the last movie. So that, of course, gave me another laugh. So that was interesting to find out. And then she looked, and there was nothing in my left ovary, which I don't usually get any feeling in my left ovary, really. I'm sure I've ovulated out of my left ovary before. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe. But my right ovary did have a pretty good, I know this is the one, I'm sorry. It did have a pretty good follicle going. I have a 16 by 19 follicle going over in my right ovary, but it's cycle day 22, and I just got a negative OPK, and I got a negative OPK earlier this morning. I've been getting negative OPKs since last week. So the earliest I could ovulate is late cycle day 23 or early cycle day 24. So at this point, I mean, this is going to sound really silly, especially to anybody who's watching this and knowing that I'm going through infertility. I almost hope I don't ovulate, because ovulating this late in your cycle is just not good or ideal. If I ovulate, and that's great. We'll have a chance. I will be very happy. But because it's so late in the cycle, I'm almost worried about that. So let me know if you've had experience with that. Other than that, that's kind of where we are. That's what happened at the appointment. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. And otherwise, I will update you guys when cycle day 1 happens. Oh, and I wanted to show you, because there is very likely follistim in my future, I got this lovely little box that has a lovely little pouch. That has a lovely little pen. This is the follistim pen, which if we do follistim, which we probably will. Ooh, I'm trying to get it straight for you guys. If we do follistim, which we probably will, I will show you guys the. I will do at least one video of shots about how I'm doing them, and so you'll be able to see me prep the pen and all that. So, but that's it, and I will talk to you ladies later.